roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. Welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man 10 Part 4. No, actually, this is Mega Man 3 Part 3, or something like that. Yeah, now we're tackling Needle Man's stage, which I do enjoy, and it is very fun, but there is a very questionable design decision that is coming up after the first boss in this stage. We'll get to that when we get to that. Yeah, as for what are we this is the Mississippi King after all. So don't worry, we got everything figured out. I am a boss at Mega Man. This stage, we'll get to that when we get to that, but trust me, that is not very... The thing that's coming up is pretty questionable in terms of game design. It sucks. And it's no good. We're going to be fighting a couple more Dark Robots in this stage. Fortunately, I won't have to do some stuff, I won't have to bring up, trivia or anything like that. It'll still have title cards. I'm not sure what this upcoming boss is weak to. Well, besides the Spark Shot, I think there's also a second weakness, but I'm not sure. I believe that could be the Magnet Missile, or perhaps something else that y'all will see in the title card if that's the case. Of course, I'm using damage research from, online, the internet. So, yeah, it's true, because I heard it on the internet. Anything you hear on the internet must be true, or is that how it works? I'm not sure. Also, I beat that boss, so yes, I can defeat Airman again. I just did it again. Okay, the Dark Robot version of Airman, but whatever. And this part is the part that I was talking about, the part with the very questionable design. Because you see, you need Rush Jet in order to get past this, but the thing is, Rush Jet requires weapon energy. If there's no weapon energy, if you grab some of the energy along the way, then you have to, grind it. Well, actually, that may not even work, because, if you run out, then you die, and if you grab some of that, then them energy pellets don't respawn. So, yeah, actually I think you may be able to get past this part without using them energy pellets, but I could be wrong. I'm not about to try, because seriously, this part is stupid enough as is. That is just stupid design. You make it almost mandatory to get them energy pellet things, and you can't get them if you die and have gotten them. But anyway, Airman is a joke in this game as well. Okay, the Dark Robot version of Airman, I should say. But, yeah, in the last episode, we finished off two of the 8 Dark Robots. And in this episode, we're gonna finish off the rest. And I guess that must mean we'll finish the game in this part. Hooray! I said that last part, but maybe this time it's for real. Who knows? Of course, maybe not. I can neither confirm nor deny your suspicions, but yeah, these parts have like these giant metals, and funny enough, Mega Man 4 actually kind of reuses that for a boss. I mean, this isn't Mega Man 4, but we'll get to that when we get to Mega Man 4, okay, folks? The thing that I like about this stage is it just flows very nicely. I mean, yeah, I do think that part where you need to use Rush Jet has some very terrible design choices, but it doesn't ruin the whole stage for me. But anyway, I feel I should say it. I like the music to Needleman's stage. I mean, it's not personally one of my favorites in the game, but it's still good. It's catchy enough. But, yeah, now we're fighting the Duck Robot Crash Man. And his only weakness is basically the hard knuckle. You can just, like, destroy him. He's just as easy as he was in Mega Man 2. Of course, pretty much all of the Robot Masters in Mega Man 2 were easy. But now that he's out of the way, let's take on Gemini Man's stage. And, Gemini, the Dark Robot version of Gemini Man's stage, I have some mixed feelings about it, because I can't really decide whether it's one of my favorite stages in the game or one of my least favorites. It's just weird. I mean, it flows nice, it has some decent pacing, and it is fairly fun, and there are some good level designs, but at the same time, there are some very repetitive parts that kind of break up that flow. Yeah, it's kind of not sure. But, it is still enjoyable, but, I mean, I just don't know whether... I got nothing, folks! Yeah, it's fairly similar to how it was before. There's one place, like the opening gives you a thing where it's like you get to do this thing, and then there are the eggs that like spawn thingy-mabobbers that are trying to kill you. And like before, this is a great spot to grind for energy, but, yeah, I'm not so sure I want to do that. Nevertheless, it is a good idea to restock here. In fact, I may just do that, but, yeah, must resist urge to destroy them all. I mean, I'm not going to, but, yeah, I have this weird tendency to want to destroy them all. And just, like, blow up all of the whatchamacallits. I'm not sure what these are, like, what they're called. But nevertheless, shouldn't matter too much since we're gonna get through them. It's not too bad. I mean, I don't much care for these parts because they're repetitive and annoying. That's how it goes, folks. You just don't want to run into them. And I don't know what else I can say when I'm going up against these here thingy-mabobbers, because it's no good. That is just no good that they just sort of put these things here and they expect you to get through them. It's not good design. But the rest of the stage is, weirdly enough, fairly good, like, I'd say even above average, but there's some things, like, they can ruin it for people, but we're coming up on the dark robot version of Flash Man, who's weak to either the both the Gemini laser and to the needle gun. Flash Man shouldn't be a problem though. He was easy in Mega Man 2, and he's easy in Mega Man 3. So yeah, pretty easy. I mean, we just gotta use the Gemini laser and he should go down without a fight. I mean, he is just a joke. I mean, seriously. I mean, yeah, he can freeze you and that can be kind of a problem, but there are harder boss fights. He's going down, folks! He's certainly gonna go down. He's a joke, I tell ya. It's no problem, and I just died. Well, ain't that just swell? Yes, I edited this crap out because it wants to watch me get all the... Like, they set you back to the start of the stage each time you die on the first of the dark robots. That's kind of a problem. But nevertheless, I'm not leaving the whole trip in. That's not cool, folks. But yeah, the rest of the stage it can be a bit perilous, but there are, like, now that we have, like, Rush Marine, I may as well show it off a bit more. I showed it off in the last part, but basically you can fire with it, which doesn't really make much of a difference, since you can also fire with Rush Jet. I mean, Rush Marine is much more useful in, like, Mega Man 4 and onwards, because it actually isn't, like, something that, like, in Mega Man 4, Rush Jet is altered so that, like, it has to go in a straight line all the time, so you don't get as much control over it. But for Rush Marine, you still have the same level of control over it that you have in Mega Man 3. So that makes Rush Marine more useful because it basically can serve as an underwater version of Rush Jet. It still is kinda limited in terms of its use, but it's still pretty good. This part is perfectly acceptable. I mean, I have no problem with these parts. They're pretty good, pretty fun. Now that we're getting through all that, we're getting to the end, folks. The end of this Dark Robot stage. And what's then? We're underwater. So that must mean... You know who is here? It's the first humanoid robot in the universe that was designed for underwater combat. Bubble Man. Again, I don't know how they know that Bubble Man was the first humanoid robot in the universe designed for underwater combat. I mean, how would you know that? That is weird. That's such a weird thing to add. I mean, I can understand it being like the first on Earth, but I mean, how do you know that it's the first in the universe? Have you been that way? I don't know, I guess I'm overthinking things, and, well, Bubble Man's already dead. Of course, he's been dead. But, yeah, he's no problem. He is no problem at all. Take work! And now that he's done with, we can head on to Sparkman's stage, or the dark robot version of Sparkman's stage. And I really have no problem with this stage. It's just genuinely good. It's also one of my favorite stages in the game. I mean, I know I've been complaining about the previous two, but yeah, I have no problem with Sparkman's Dark Robot stage. It's still pretty good. Once again, the Shadow Blade makes quick work of enemies. Just look at how quick it'll get this thing done. And we're coming up to a very familiar foe. He's actually pretty easy. I'll give y'all a hint. It's Metal Man. I don't know what I'm trying to hide, but it would have to be either Metal Man or Quick Man, since they're the only ones left. And he's even easier than he was in Mega Man 2! Because this time there's not even a conveyor belt. And the magnet missile makes very short work of him. I mean, I suppose you could also use the hard knuckle, but that's not as fast. So it's like, there's really no point. And for this section, I am going to be switching to the top spin. Because, once again, I feel I should mention, it's not quite as useless as the internet makes it out to be. I mean, it's still pretty useless, but it's better than the internet gives it credit for. These parts are pretty easy, and I like how they flow. There's some really nice level design here. But next up, of course, it's Quick Man, since he's the only robot master that could possibly be left from Mega Man 2. And, it's actually pretty easy if you use the Search Snake. I mean, you could also use the Gemini laser, but I would strongly recommend against that because if it misses, it has to bounce all the way all over the place, and the Search Snake, meanwhile, just makes short work of him, because, like, if you miss, you don't gotta wait for another one to, like, go by. So you can drain his health pretty quickly. Contrary to what I just did. So let's give this a second try, shall we? I should be able to defeat him pretty quickly this time, now that we've got things in order. See? Search Snake just drains his health like it's nobody's business. He's about as easy as Gemini Man. At least with his weakness. But now we've beaten the wait a minute. We haven't beaten the game. There's someone else? Find out who this someone else is next time on Let's Play Mega Man 3. We'll fight the final boss next time. See y'all then.